Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to Embracing What is Real. I'm your host, Helane Lipson. Embracing What's Real is the forum to explore the nature of reality and the impact our current belief systems have on our lives. All of our deep-rooted old beliefs are what many of us use to judge ourselves and our actions. Our current belief systems impact every single choice we make. So when we feed our spirit with new, empowering ideas about the meaning of life, the meaning of our lives change. Hello and welcome to the Helane Lipson Show on In5d Radio. I am your host, Helane Lipson. I do have a very special guest today, Rob Gauthier, and he is known for channeling an extraterrestrial entity called Treb. He also channels another entity actually called RD. We'll talk a little bit more with him about that, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's coming up. We have the Return to Atlantis conference that we're putting together with In5d events in Lido Key, Florida, and that's coming up October 4th through October 6th. Teal Scott, Andrew Bartzis, Laura Magdalene Eisenhower, Mark Dr. Dream Peebler, Lisa Renee, and Tom K. Pacha Letcher will be our speakers. We're also going to be hosting a party on the beach Saturday night, October 5th, and we're having it catered by Earth Origins, amazing organic food. And we're throwing this party for starseeds and way showers and light workers to come together with their soul groups, for kindred spirits to unite and celebrate together. And, you know, this is a costly event, we'll tell you right now, so we're going to be having some benefit webinar shows. Andrew Bartzis has offered on August 11th to do a webinar to benefit this event. He'll be joined by Chris Hales, I believe Julian Wells as well. And on August 17th, that is a Saturday, and that one we have a time even, that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At that time, we're having Teal Scott on and Andrew Bartzis as well. These are benefit shows for this event. They will be taking calls. They will be answering questions. And we would love for you to join us. You can find out more about this on In5d.com. I'll also be posting it on my Facebook wall. So it's very exciting. And so now let's get back to talking about our special guest. Rob Gauthier is a channel that communicates with many extraterrestrial entities, but he's most known for the trans-channeling for the beings known as Treb Channeling, and I'm going to have to ask him a little bit about the pronunciation of that, and Ardif. I have to ask him about the pronunciation of that too. But Rob has been connected to Treb for over 5 years, and he's been publicly channeling for 3 years. Rob's also a teacher of deep meditative states, as well as the simplistic approach to channeling. He's authored 3 books, and he's here with us right now. For more information about him, you can find him at www.trebchanneling.com. And now, here's Rob. Hey, Rob.
How are we doing today?
I'm so
Hello,
good.
can you hear me?
I'm so glad to talk to you. I could hear you perfectly. I'm so excited you're with us. Oh, my goodness. I had a beautiful reading from you, actually, and that was awesome. So I'm so glad that you're on the show and that you're going to be channeling for our callers. And we do now have quite a few callers, which is very exciting because, like I said, it's definitely worth a listen to hear what Treb has to say. But before we start, let's hear a little bit about Treb. What kind of entity is Treb, and how did you even connect to him or find that you were able to do this?
Well, it started a long time ago. Probably about 6-7 years ago, I just started coming out of a pretty deep disconnected place. It was pretty bad. I was in deep depression, really bad, disconnected from who I was. And as I go through my whole life, that theme had always reoccurred. And finally, as I'm coming out of this, I start becoming more of me. I start seeing things in a different light. I could go outside and look at the trees and see the beauty in them, which I never was able to before. I always had some sort of an ability when I was younger. I had witnessed my grandmother, who had passed for 20 years, speak to me a few times as a child, but it was always dismissed as dreams. My mother and father were very, very Christian and said, well, that doesn't happen. You go to heaven, you go to hell. That's not a possibility. So they dismissed it, so I dismissed it. And as I grew, I became disconnected in the teenage years all the way through up to the late 20s. And as I'm coming out of this, I start learning about myself, meditation. There was a church that's called a spiritualism church, and they had some of the best practices, the best beliefs out of any church that I've been to, and I wanted that spiritual connection so bad. So I go to check them out. A lot of what all of us who are listening believe about being the master of your own universe, about making your own reality, about believing in yourself. Meditation can help you do that. All these types of beliefs were being used in that church, and I go there, and the guy who I met gave me this reading. He was the pastor, deacon of the church, and it was so spot on. It was things about my son I hadn't told anyone in the church, and things about my family's history that I didn't even know until I had talked to my father. And it had all verified all these things for me. And I told the guy who introduced me to the church that it was wonderful, and I wanted to know, how to do that. I wanted to know how I could meditate and learn these things. And they taught me a lot of meditation. And after a while, I kept living and getting more of myself to me every day. And then I see that my meditation kind of plateaued. It didn't go anywhere higher than what it had before. And I had wanted to get more connected to myself. I was getting small things here and there, like messages from spirit, people who had passed on, visions. I could feel a little bit of energy, but it wasn't nearly to the extent I wanted, so I kept working for it. And I found a meditation called Hemi-Sync, and this is a Monroe Institute gateway experience. So I use that, the binaural beat. The sound waves help put your brain into a state of meditation that is very deep and very very complex for your own physical parts of the body, let alone the spiritual aspects. So I kept doing that, and after about 4 months, I completed the program. And once I did that, I just kept doing it. And one night, I went into a deep meditation, deeper than I ever had before, and that's when I met Treb in like an astral projected state. And for those of you who don't understand what that means, it's almost like a dream state, but you're awake. You're meditating, you're consciously aware of your surroundings. It's like the most lucid dream you could ever have. It's an ethereal state that is semi-physical. And that's where I met him. That was the time I met him. And Treb's really amazing. He talked to me and told me a lot of things I didn't understand. He told me about how reality kind of really works. And he put it in terms that were simple for me. I didn't know a lot of the terminologies like I know now. So he put that in a very, very easy way for me to understand. And ever since then, I spent 2 years with him, just in the astral projected state, meeting with him, learning from him. I asked him who he was. I asked him, who are you? And he describes himself as a portion of my oversoul that is higher density. So we share the same oversoul. We're just different fractals in that oversoul. And he's a portion that's more understanding, more knowledgeable than I am. And that connection was made for that reason, so I could tap into that higher portion of myself. And we did that for 2 years. And finally I decided I want to share this information. This has changed my life. I want to give this back to other people. And I knew channeling was possible. I knew it existed. That's how I kind of backed up all the information he was telling me, and I checked out with other sources and found a lot of it similar to channeling. So I asked him how to do that, and me and him worked for a long time, probably about 4 months on doing it. And the moment I could do it, within weeks, I started sharing it publicly.
Wow. You know, it's so interesting. You know, I also found Hemi-Sync, and I found that very helpful. What was the one, dive in, or what was the initial one? I know I still listen to Make Change Easy because I'm always working to go with the flow. So I still use the Hemi-Syncs. And I've been doing that. You're the first other person that I've known that found that. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It really helps open people up.
Yeah. Well, the main one, I listened to it a lot. I felt like the same way. I felt like that the Hemi-Sync tapes. Who is the guy that does this again? I forgot the name. It starts with a B. Bill, Bob. I forget.
I'm not sure. I know his last name is Monroe, and I know his daughter owns the company now. He either passed or retired, and his daughter owns the company now, Monroe Institute. And they have a lot of great stuff. The one that I used was the Gateway Experience, and it's a 6-part. It has 6 waves, 6 parts in each of them. But it really is very, very expensive. So it's difficult for most
It was expensive.
People
It was
to afford
expensive.
It. Yeah.
But, Rob, I mean, I remember this was back years ago when I did this. I listened to it over and over and over and over again, too. I was falling asleep to it, and it really made a difference. So I'm surprised you mentioned that because that took me, that's really cool. I like that. Now, I would love people to have the experience of speaking to Treb. I would love to speak to Treb. Tell us about the process that you're about to go through right now to channel Treb. What are you going to do to bring Treb in for our listeners?
Oh, all right. Well, it's a complex process, self-taught, a little bit of digging to find this, but it basically happens in 4 steps. The first step, I take a minute to neutralize my energy out, and then I start connecting to Treb, so that leads to the second step. And the second step is basically, it's a slow, deep breathing. And what this does is allows me to go into what the Hemi-Sync place calls the 21 Beyond state. And this is a state of deep meditation. And that you hear me breathing in and out really slowly and deeply, and my body completely goes asleep and my mind stays awake. After that, I do the second or the third stage, which is called resonant tuning. And what this is really loud and deep ohms, and they're very long, loud, deep ohming sounds, and that helps me vibrate the higher chakras in my body. As humans, the lower ones tend to vibrate decently, but the top ones kind of need an enhancement. So that ohming helps physically vibrate the energetic chakras in the top of my body. After that point, then I go into, some people call it dragon breathing or fast breathing, and this is where I breathe in and out really fast. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing energy in, and all the chakras in my body I'm able to feel at once. And once I do that, I feel all of them at once, and then I place all of them into the third eye, which is the second to last chakra, and then I release it through the crown, and that makes my consciousness leave my body. When I do that, I go into an astral projected state, and I sit with Treb in the astral plane, just like I did for the 2 years before I started channeling, and part of his consciousness comes into my body. And that's how the process of channeling works. And it takes him a minute to get settled in, and once he gets in, then he'll let you know he's there, and then the questions are good to go.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Rob, let's start the process. Are you ready?
I'm ready. It'll take me about a minute or so to just kind of neutralize my energy, and then I'll get started on the process.
Well, actually, then, before you start, I just want to ask one thing for you. I know, because after you channel Treb, you know, you're just kind of coming back into Rob. So I just want to take a second also to talk about an event that you have coming up. What is going on for you coming up? I'd love to bring that up. before we start our readings, because there might be, after you come back into your body after the Treb channeling, you might not you might not remember, and I want to make sure that we do talk about what you have coming up and what and so
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a few things going on. On the 25th of this month, we've got an event going on. It is a Cosmic Panel Hybrid Race online event, and this is where myself and Brad Johnson and Sean Swanson will all be doing a three-way simultaneous channeling online. We're doing an event that holds up to 200 people already. It's got a really great reception. A lot of people have already registered for it. I've done a couple with them now before, and it's really, really great environment, really exciting. That's one of the things. The other thing is we're doing a live open forum, and for those of you who don't understand who Treb is or what he does, when he's in a channel state, often my friend George, who I also do the radio show with, the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour, he asks Treb questions that are sent in by the public. And what we're going to do now that we've started our Blog Talk Radio, we're going to open up the Blog Talk Radio to do that and take live calls for a live channeling, which will be an hour and a half, 2-hour event for people to call in. And that's going to take place on the 1st of next month, and that'll be 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And that'll be exciting. But my most exciting thing I'm so excited about right now is I've already talked to the director. An investor on my behest donated some money to help get funded for a part 3 to Tuning In Spirit Channels of America. There's a part 3, and along with Lee Carroll, who channels Chiron, and Jeffrey Hope, who does Tobias, and Lindy Kennedy, who does the Pleiadian Collective, I will be the 4th channeler presented in that movie. It's a documentary about channelers and about information that they have. And I am so excited to do that. David Thomas, the director, and I have been working on that for the last month, and that should be at the end of the year. So I've got so many things going on right now. It's such a great thing to see more and more people finally get the opportunity to connect to Treb's work. He changed my life, and I want to give that back to people.
Oh, that's awesome. And thank you for sharing what's coming up. And now I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited to bring on Treb. I can't wait to talk to Treb again.
I know. The first time was great. I remember you guys had a blast. It'll just take me a minute, and then I'll let you know when I'm getting ready to connect. It'll only take about a minute or so, and then we'll get going.
Yay! So should I stay quiet, or should I just talk to our listeners?
You can talk.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just talk then. This is very interesting because I did have an experience talking to Treb. I was fortunate enough to have a reading one day, and there were a few odds and ends that he brought up that I didn't really share with Rob before, so it's very interesting. At that particular time, I wasn't on the radio, so I was actually listening to Rob as he was moving into this altered state, and it was interesting because you could hear him kind of breathing, and you can hear him kind of almost groaning as he was moving into this body. And another thing that was kind of interesting, I work as a psychic astrologer, and I am extremely intuitive, and I have vision, so it's very interesting. I actually saw Treb. I could see Treb who was talking to me, and I got like a picture of what this entity looked like. He's actually a reptilian, a benevolent reptilian. What stood out in my mind is he had like purple eyes, and I looked at him. I'm like, you don't look so scary. You don't look so bad. You look like the night. You're kind of cute. I said, it all depends on, beauty's in the eye. It was kind of funny that day. Anyway, I also want to thank everybody in the chat room for being so warm and being so loving, and for coming back each week to view our shows. I hope I meet some of you at our Return to Atlantis event, this In5d event that we're having in October. Treb, is that you?
Yep. No, I'm ready to start. I got to start my connection now. I just had to kind of neutralize myself, but I'm ready to start. If you're ready,
okay.
It'll only take about three minutes or so, and you'll hear the breathing and the oming and then the breathing, and then he'll let you know when he's there.
Okay. Would you prefer quiet for a few minutes of silence, or would you?
Yeah, this part I will need a little bit quiet time just for this part because I need to be able to get into a deep place real quick. So just for this moment, yeah, and then afterwards I'll let you know that he's there.
Okay, listeners, I'm going to stay quiet.
Good evening, Helane.
Hi, Treb. How are you? Welcome to our show.
Well. I'm doing really well. How are you doing on this day?
I'm really doing well. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy to be talking to you. I'm happy that you're going to be answering questions for our callers. You know, Treb, it's been an interesting time lately. I know a lot of people are talking about this 8/8 Lionsgate, and I know that there's been some interesting energies lately. What do you notice about what's going on lately, energetically?
Yes, there has been many ideas of energetic proportions coming from the Earth, with the idea of several layers of energy that are manifesting themselves onto the Earth. There is feminine energy, there is masculine energy, there is what you would call ascensional energy, but there is also what you would say to be galactic alignment energy, where every independent entity within this galaxy manifesting themselves as a planet begin to align and co-create energies as well. And within this idea, this gives the opportunity for humanity to use this energy in the way that they see fit. There is many ideas of energy coming to an entity who is very disconnected and very confused. This energy will make an entity perhaps more uncomfortable until the belief system that no longer serve them are brought to surface. So many entities do not see this as a very great thing, but in the true way of seeing this, it is a very exciting time. It gives you an opportunity to take these lessons that you learn and to apply them so no longer you need to suffer in this belief system. But for those of you who are in energies that are very happy and excited, this will only magnify this to a very high degree. It will take the energies that you are sharing, that you are using to manifest, and it will help manifest more at a higher rate. This is a very truly exciting area, even more so energetically. From this time in 1 week area, it is the highest energy than it has been since the December 21st area.
Interesting. So basically after, it's funny, so after 8/8, or after a couple of days from now, will we have locked in these energies, and then what do we expect after that? What can we expect after that?
Yes, the energies that you are speaking of in the 8/8 is when the energies begin to rise, but it will meet at the precipice very soon afterwards, within a 5 to 6 day area. And once it is manifested to its full capability, all entities who are using their perceptionary capabilities, their energetic possessing energies, will be able to experience this heightened awareness, this heightened environment, and also the heightened energetic fashion in which they are able to manifest. This will bring different changes for each individual entity, dependent truly and surely only on the idea of how they wish to use this energy. There is many energies that come to Earth. You are in a 9-year cycle that is regressing from the 21st of December into a 9-year area. But within this, there will be several 100 energy waves that are coming to Earth. But the next one after this area will be within December 21st of this year.
Interesting.
Yes.
It is interesting, and I'm just thinking about. I know I've been feeling these bursts, and I don't know if it's from the collective. I don't know if it's because I'm being forced to release any leftover packets of enslaved energy within my own body, like things that are lingering in the shadows, or if there are other energies that are, I guess, not natural, that are also coming at us too. Because this has been it's been a very uneasy time. I know, especially for me, just to stay joy, light, love has been. I've had to work hard at it. I've had to work hard to stay on an even keel with all these different little things coming up. That's for sure. I mean, I wonder if have a lot of people been experiencing this too? Do you think? Is there something outside of us going on?
Yes, the idea is that many entities have been experiencing this last energetic wave, which is represented in a physical manifestation as what you would understand to be a Mercury retrograde. And at this time, it was a beginning of forcefully expressing all ideas of what is not serving you, all of the times that you are feeling that tends to be frustrating or anxiety or angry. All of this is happening so that you may overcome these parts of yourself. There is so many entities that are upon Earth that are still limiting themselves with belief systems, and this energy is specifically designed so that it makes you face these. Many entities will face these with a negative idea or aspect, and then the belief systems will not be removed. But if they are able to remove these belief systems as they are facing these adversities, then they are able to experience manifestation of a truly happy and gracious existence. And this time that is represented in the 4 to 5 day period, this is the end of this retrograde energy, if you will, to the beginning of a new cycle, a brand new, exciting, and energetic proportion.
Interesting. Well, Treb, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. For a minute, I thought I heard a little sound thing, and I was thinking to myself, oh, yeah, but I'm so glad you're here. Trevor, I'm ready to start taking callers. We've got quite a few people. I'm going to start with our first caller. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, I love the way you say yes. You're like, yes. It's really cute. So here we go. I'm ready to take our first caller. This is a caller 516. So, hello, caller 516. How are you tonight?
I'm all right. How about? Hi. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us?
I sure can.
Hi. Excellent. What is your first name?
My first name is Mike.
Hi, Mike. Mike, do you have a question for Treb?
I do. In fact, I'm a senior in high school, and I was wondering what kind of things will I be learning from this experience, from the new paradigm and from the Lion's Gate, out of the Lion's Gate. And I was wondering what I'm going to learn and take from this experience.
Yes. This will greatly depend on your own perception as you go through your existence, remembering the idea that you are the creator of your own physical existence, that everything you interact with is truly only an extension of yourself, the capability to face these with a positive attitude. This will manifest all ideas into very great circumstances that will allow you to manifest what is very great to you. But the idea that is most important is to remember that when you are facing any ideal that is in front of you, if you are not living within your true excitement, within your own capability of things that you endure, that you find dear to you and that you love, you will not be able to manifest in the great capability as if you are doing things that you feel that you must. So in this key area of your life, of the leaving of high school and going into the next phase of your existence, use the energy that is here now to live within your excitement. And even if you do not believe that these excitements may help you gain a financial abundance, remind yourself that living in the excitement can give you many pathways that will help you with this idea. So staying in a positive mindset, reminding yourself of your own divinity, and reminding yourself that any entities that you face that tend to not resonate with you or tend to be very difficult for you to deal with, it is only because this portion is within yourself. So accepting your own self, loving your own self, and accepting the relationship being a manifestation of your own inside, this is the very greatest key to use this energy the most wisest.
I see.
Mike, do you have anything else you'd wonder about? Like, is there anything specific that you want to know about yourself? Maybe about your own personal mission and what you're here to do?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
You know, Treb, do you know why I was put here and what my personal mission is and how I can achieve it?
Yes, if you are able to close the physical eyes that you have and to focus or concentrate on the idea of pushing your physical energy outward, then I will connect to the Oversoul to see what I am able to experience. One moment, please. Yes, the idea that your Oversoul is given, again, is to stay within this excitement, and this will lead you a very great opportunity to be able to help multiple thousands of entities when you are relating to scientific ideas. Follow the scientific ideas in your own expression that excite you the most greatly.
I see.
What does that mean exactly, Treb? He should follow his excitement. What is his Oversoul?
The Oversoul is what all fractals combined are, and within this Oversoul there is many future existences, there is many past existences, and there are many parallel existences. The Oversoul is the complete sum of all of these energies. The Oversoul is not often give very specific ideas because it understands that your free will manifest what it wishes to manifest. It does not wish to guide you in a very specific manner that says you must take a right step here and a left step here. It gives you the expression of following these excitements so that you may be able to use your free will to choose your own path, as you are the ultimate creator in your own existence. But within the Oversoul communication, the idea that is given is that once you see an opportunity or an experience that excites you within a scientific field, this will give you a great opportunity to help many entities. So as you are living in the day-to-day expression, life is going from one day to the next. Focus upon the idea of science, any science that grabs the attention, that excites you. It is doing this for a very specific reason. It is doing this because the Oversoul is giving you the nudge that if you choose to have a path of great excitement, to follow this specific idea. But if you do not choose this, this is also your own free will. The Oversoul does not impede upon the free will of any entity. It will only give you clues of what your path is through your excitement.
I see.
And what does that mean for our caller? Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, I'm left wondering what it all means. So I'm sure that our caller might be wondering what it means, Treb. I'm wondering.
Yes. Let us express an example. If you are sitting upon the television and watching an idea, if there is an idea that is in science, let us express perhaps astronomy. You are watching a show that is explaining scientific aspects of astronomy, and this tends to make you excited. You tend to become very excited about this. Then begin to take your life in a path that is in this excitement. For instance, you may study this idea more deeply. You may begin to buy a telescope. You may begin to buy many things of books that are able to teach you of this. Follow this excitement. If it is there to excite you within a scientific field, the Oversoul is expressing that this is very important for you to understand.
I think I understand.
Yes!
Yeah. I always have been into...
Oh, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I've always been into science. That's amazing.
Yes! The Oversoul knows you very well because you are to the Oversoul as a written letter is to you. It has manifested you into a separate part, but still many other letters may be given to make a book, and the book is the representation of this Oversoul.
Well, I gotta go. Well, thanks.
That's interesting. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling in, Mike. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yes.
I'm a definite fan. So I will see you later. Take care.
Bye, Mike. That was nice. I love that. Thank you so much, Treb. Are you ready?
Yes.
That was so nice. That's interesting. I know. I'm sorry. I was interrupting a little bit. I could feel this young man wanting to know more, like specifically, like what am I supposed to do? What am I doing with myself? You know. And I know that that's something we have free will, and I know that you can't exactly tell people what to do. But you gave him quite a bit to think about, so thank you so much.
Yes, the Oversoul is different from each entity. One Oversoul may be very quiet and secretive, perhaps not willing to give any expression or examples, But other oversouls tend to be very open and exciting, as each individual oversoul is as individual as the fractals within it. So one oversoul perhaps will be willing to express, you must take a left here and then a right, and then follow this path, while others say, as you are walking, be mindful. It will vary from each individual oversoul to the other oversoul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose there's more than 256 ways to do dishes. So, I mean, there's lots of ways to do every little thing, I guess is what I'm saying. But I am ready to take another caller. I'm just going in order of how people are waiting. So I'm going to take this caller, which is caller 805. Hello, caller 805. How are you? Hello? I don't hear anything. Do you? All right, I'm going to put them back on hold, and I will go to another caller. I'm going to go to next in the queue waiting, which was caller 352. Caller 352, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Hi. Thank you for calling in.
Savita?
This is Savita.
Hi. Savita, how are you? Nice to talk to you.
Nice
Hi.
to talk to you, Helen. I was just reading about your program, and Rob was so excited about it.
Oh, which one? Where? The Return to Atlantis? This one?
No, this one. This one.
Oh, yeah. this program. Okay, I was all mixed up. I'm so sorry. This program, I'm so happy because I'm really glad that you called in. It's a sweet thing. It's a nice energy that Treb has. Treb, we love you. You know, I can feel you, and it's so nice. It's a feeling of total acceptance and love listening to you. So.
I know. I can.
I love you as well.
Oh, you know, Treb is like a family. You know, he's a part of me. No,
now,
beautiful.
Savita, before you need to turn off your player. Okay, we hear the sound in the background, so we might be. I think we're getting a little echo here. So why don't you turn the sound off on your player before you ask a question?
Actually, I am calling from my phone.
Okay, so it's just whatever.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the echo.
I was not able to connect through the computer, so I'm calling from my phone. I'm listening from my phone only.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have a question for Treb?
Oh, yeah, you took my call, so I might as well ask. I request Treb to read my energy again and tell me where I am now.
Yes. You are very aware of the idea of closing the physical eyes and pushing the energy with your intent. In one moment, I will connect. Yes. Within the last time that we have spoken, there is a 2% message of the blockages within the chakra area.
Okay, so how my blockages are doing? Are they getting better? And where do you see the blockages now?
The blockages within the physical chakra system are becoming better, 2% more clear, and they are in the same areas within the last time that we spoke. The one within the solar plexus region is the one that is 2% more clear, and the other is approximately 1 to 1.5% more clear. There is still an idea of energy that is interrupting the releasage of this.
We were talking about the energy changes in the relationship. So what do you do with that? You see, you feel that they are you aware of your emotions. Then what do you do with that? Like you keep on going, you keep on going in the life, or you know the way it is to accept your emotion and let go. But life is very broad. You cannot make big decisions. So you keep on living with the life, or what you do with the emotions?
The idea is not to let go of these ideas or to let go of these emotions. You must, as we have expressed before, you must embrace the idea, this negative emotion, and then you must become aware of this idea, processing each individual moment to moment throughout the day. But if this continuous pattern continues to occur, and this is not bringing you into your excitement of your own existence, the idea is to change what does not bring you excitement. It is to remove yourself from the idea of what does not excite you. This is the only way that is guaranteed to be able to release this negative emotion, as your belief systems hold the negative emotions that you are feeling for a very specific reason. Because the energies that are coming to you as you become imbalanced or upset or very depressed, if you will, these energies that continue to come to you will remain to come to you unless the change of the overall situation is being made.
So that means we have to change our overall vibrations. That means we need to shift from negative to positive. So give a little tips how to shift yourself from negative to positive. See, when you try to shift yourself from negative to positive, you are like ignoring your negative. You are shifting to positive. But my point is that you accept your negative and win it, conquer it. You know. So what do you say about that?
Within your own consciousness, the greatest idea is when this negative comes to you, when this negative expression of emotion or feelings or situations are coming, the idea is to place a positive intent within your own mind. So let us use an example. For instance, I am not having a job, and as this job is coming to you and you become upset, then as soon as you begin to think of this idea, then replace this with a positive intention. Replace this idea that it is no longer that I do not have a job, I am going to have a job. Having a job in something that I do not love does not help me grow, does not benefit to me. And when I am having a job, I will find one with great excitement. It is to divert the negative thought process into a positive, unless you are finding growth within negative emotions. Many entities on Earth very commonly experience this negativity repetitively, and they use this as their own experience. And this is one valid way to experience your existence, but it will continuously bring you the same results as you have had before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Treb, I won't take much of time. I will give chance to other people to talk to you. So over to you, Helane.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and asking your question. I really appreciate that. And
please don't disconnect my call. Yeah, don't disconnect my call because I'm listening through my phone. So
Okay. I'm gonna do that. Can you all hear me? Still?
Yeah. I can.
Okay, yes. Good. So I'm gonna put you back on mute. And I'll go to our next caller, but I thank you so much for calling in and for listening. Okay, I'm ready for our next caller. How about you, Treb?
Yes.
Okay, this is a caller that's holding from Skype. Hello, caller. Hello, can you hear us? I can't hear them, Treb. So I'm going to put them back on hold, and I will go to another caller.
It's not me, is it?
Oh, yes, it is you. That's you.
Oh, you didn't say the number, so I was.
There's no number. This is what it looks like in my studio. It says.
Oh, okay.
It says NAAXO.
Oh, that's me. Yes, Noxo.
I didn't know that was you. I didn't know what to call you. So is that like hello? So what's your first name?
It's Noella.
Noxo? No. Oh, cute. Hello.
Hello.
I had no idea it was you. That's so funny. Hi.
Hi. Hello,
I'm so
Treb.
happy to talk to you.
Hello.
Treb, are you there?
You? Yes.
I love the way you say that. It makes me laugh every time.
Noella, you have a question for Treb?
I just I didn't have any ideas before the call, but I've just sort of got some from other callers. And so I like the idea of trying to get some information on sort of my higher purpose and a direction that my life is going. I've sort of been in a little bit of a holding pattern here, just, working on myself and having a real quiet life, and I'm feeling the urge to, connect with soul group and that kind of thing. So if Treb can give me any information or guidance, that would be very welcome.
Yes. If you are able to place the physical eyes to close and to push the energy from the inside of your physical body to the outside and place an intent to let me connect your energy. One moment, please. Yes! The Oversoul wishes to express the idea that many relationships within your existence tend to react negatively with you as you are going through these relationships. There's great amounts of static, great amounts of disconnection. Within this idea, to remind yourself that this is being mirrored back to you, and to love yourself more greatly. This is very important within your own consciousness, to see yourself as divine, to see yourself as worth loving. Then these relationships will tend to either get greater and more connected, or the entities who will no longer serve you in a positive experience will begin to disappear from your existence. And this disappearance is not a negative thing. It is a very positive idea, even though there is a great amount of fear in disconnecting from these entities. It will be a great experience for you to be able to examine your own existence and to reiterate the love that is there for you within your own self. And as you are doing this, this will be manifested outwardly into experiences of positivity and relationships that are fitting to the love that you deserve.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What about on a more sort of mundane level, like as in movement or that kind of thing?
Within your own existence, there is many, what you would say to be obstacles in a financial aspect, and within this is again what you would consider to be a reflection of the imbalance within your own self, the inability to see yourself as worthy and loving. So doing this will help literally fix all exterior ideas that you are facing with a greater vibration overall. Seeing your own self-worth is the greatest aspect of all humans, but within your own specific energy, this is a very vital and important idea that will not only help the financial aspect, not only help the relationship aspects, but it will also help align your energy more greatly and be able to show you your excitement, as this can be an issue as well, not being able to find things that are greatly exciting for you. So when you are able to do this, it will clear all of these things.
Wow, that was really great. That's
yes.
For thought. Yes. That's great. Wow, thank you so much, Treb. I appreciate it. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. That was great. I'm so happy you called in. I am so happy you called in. Well, this is the first time I've ever heard your voice.
I know, it's wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll get off now and let somebody else have their turn. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much again. You have a great night. We'll see you in the chat room. Okay. Treb, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing very well. And how are you doing?
Very, very good. You know, you're really doing a great job in answering these questions, and I'm going to have to listen to this show over and over again because some of the information you're saying is like really intense and extremely valuable, and a lot to swallow. So I'm going to go on to our next caller. I'll just keep moving it along. And are you ready for another caller, Treb?
Yes.
Beautiful. Here we go. This is caller 586. I don't remember. I think that this is, we didn't get to this caller. So hello, caller 586. Are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're really good. What's your name?
My name is Teresa.
Hi. Are you
Hi,
Gemini on the? Are you Gemini moon in the? Thank you. Oh my goodness gracious! Thank you so much for calling in. I'm happy to talk to you. I see you each week, and it's nice again. Just like one day, I like to. It's nice to hear the voice that goes with the chat. So thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too.
Well, I know you probably have a question for Treb. So I'll turn it over to you and Treb.
Thank you. Hi, Trev.
Good day to you, and how are you doing in this day?
I am doing pretty good in this day. I really am. I have a question for you. I was wondering more of what my purpose is on this planet.
Yes, again, to close the physical eyes, to push the energy out with an intent, and in one moment I will connect.
Okay.
Yes, the Oversoul wishes to communicate the idea that within your own energy, that there is very high capabilities of being able to absorb information at a very high rate when something is exciting to you, and that within the spiritual information, the complexities that make up your energy are very fitting for a teacher, if you will. Even though sometimes dealing with entities on a one-to-one level may be difficult when entities do not resonate with you, that if you are able to place this aside, that your ability to teach other entities the information that serves you is a very high probability.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes!
I can't help but giggle. Thank you so much. That was very beautiful.
Yes, and thank you as well.
Thanks, Helene. I appreciate it.
That you wanted to ask or clarification on? Well, here you are. That went by very fast. Is there anything else that you would want to know? Clarification on anything, or is there anything else you were wondering while we have Treb with you?
Well, we have 12, while we have him with me. Well, he clarified some things in the teacher element because I do have a lot of knowledge. I'm just wondering what to do with it. And like he says, it has to be something that resonates very closely with my heart in order to do it. So
Yeah.
I believe that that's what he was telling me. So I was kind of getting more of a confirmation, if you will.
I love that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I need to teach. I'm just not sure in which aspect to go in.
The idea, if it is acceptable for me to ask you a question.
It is.
What is the greatest thing, the greatest spiritual subject that excites you the greatest?
You know, there's a few, but lately it has really been about being a sovereign being and being a sovereign soul and understanding the history of the universe and understanding why we're all on the planet at this point in time. That's what really excites me.
There is great amount of information that is already available to humanity in these areas. Being able to place yourself in a learning environment for this alone can be very difficult for many humans because they are not understanding the idea of which is true and which is not true. But within your own self, you will have the ability to discern these ideas, but do not do this with your mind. If you do this with your mind, this will cause great friction and difficulty within the 5th and 6th chakra of the physical body. Remind yourself to filter these ideas through the heart, and this will give you a greater ability to be able to manifest not only the learning of these ideas, but perhaps if you choose your excitement to teach as well, to be able to express this to many other entities in a very harmonious and loving way.
Beautiful, because that's what I want to stay with is my heart. I don't want to do the logic thing anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I have the
stuff.
logic thing down pretty good, but I really want to follow my heart as to do what to do with my life next.
Yes, and there is a very easy way to discern this idea. When you are processing information, do not place these thought processes, do not allow these thought processes to remain. For example, if you are seeing an idea that is being expressed, you will tend to believe many variations of things. You will tend to process this trueness or falseness, historically, perpetualness. But then you'll go through all of these different attributes of this, and this is not what filtering to the heart is. If it feels correct, if it resonates with you to a degree that is so high that you are emotionally feeling love and happiness and connecting to these portions of yourself, this is the greatest way to know if you are discerning from the heart or from the mind.
Yes, and recently I just had an experience just like that. And it resonated so high, and it made my heart sing like you wouldn't believe. I was just thrilled.
Yes! This is very exciting.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. It's been so helpful.
Oh, that was great. That was just so helpful. That was so great. Thank you so much for calling in, and thank you so much for your answer, Treb. Like I said, this is a lot. This is a lot to wrap our minds around. And it's so meaningful. I'm going to be playing this show maybe 2 or 3 times to listen and take this all in, because this information, honestly, is useful to everybody in looking within and thinking about what they are here to do. And, you can see this recurring theme of people asking, what is their mission? What is their mission? Anyway, I am ready for. I know that we've gone. I want to take another caller, and I want to say thank you so much again for calling in. Our next caller, thank you so much, and thank you for listening to our show. We love you, Gemini.
I love you guys.
Oh, you have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. See you soon.
You too.
And so, bye. Our next, Treb, are you ready for another caller?
Yes.
Okay, Treb, and then I know that we've gone over an hour, but let's take this caller, and then we'll talk a little bit and wind it up. So here is our next caller. Hello, 646. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you guys?
Can you hear us? Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect. Perfect.
Excellent. Awesome.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question for Treb?
Yes, I do, and I just want to say thank you so much for taking my call. I'm a little nervous because I do have a question, and I want to say it's a fascinating show. I feel like I have the same question as other people, but it's the only one that's really important to me, which is, do you see anything for what I need to do for my life purpose? Or, I'm a healer, and I want to know if there's anything else that I should know about my star brothers and sisters or my star origins, anything that can help activate me in my path as a healer and a light worker.
Yes. Again, to close the physical eyes, to push the energy from within out to you. In one moment, I will connect.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, within your own oversoul, it wishes to express the idea that there is an entity who presides within the oversoul that is from a faith identity. This is what you would consider to be a human entity or a humanoid entity. This entity presides within the constellation that you know as Lepores, and within this Lepores there is a large star that is called Wesen, and this entity presides within this area, and this entity is very deeply connected to you. So when you are seeing the constellation that is known as Lepores, to focus upon the brightest star within this, to see that you are expressively connected to this, and to place an intent within a meditative state. This will help open your own consciousness more so to connecting to this entity.
Wow. That's kind of beyond for me. I'm not really clear about what the entity is. I'm sorry, that's not the best connection on my phone. So I'm not sure if you're saying
yes. that. This entity is what you would say to be a portion of the oversoul, much as I am to the host. And within the idea of meditative state, this entity is what you would say a type 1 entity, a one who is positive, as you perhaps would see this. It does not wish to infringe upon the free will. It wishes to connect you, to benefit and share love. And within a meditative state, the energy that it can share with you can be very gratefully beneficial. This entity has been with you for over 2 of your years, and he's been there through times of difficulty, but wishes to express a more intimate connection to you.
Oh, that's beautiful. And so basically what I hear you saying is when I'm in a meditative state, I should just try to connect more with this entity?
The greatest idea to connect to this entity would be to look upon your own internet or various sources of information to physically see what the constellation looks like, the Lepores constellation, and within this constellation, to remember the exact shape of this, the amount of stars that are within it, and then when you are visualizing this aspect of Lepores, to focus in directly upon what you would say to be the alpha star or the brightest star in this constellation. And while you are doing this, this will call out to the entity within the oversoul. This will help give you more energy. This will help you both connect to each other. And this can vary greatly, or probability-wise, being very easy, to give you greater assistance within your day-to-day environment, but also in a soul level.
That's very comforting.
Yes.
I like the way you talk, so thank you. It's very joyful to listen to you.
I know, I love that. I love that. Yes, isn't that? It just makes me every time he says that, it just makes me it makes me smile. And Caller, what was it that when I was listening to your reading? See, it's very hard. In some ways, Treb speaks in a way that takes me some time to integrate the information. I'm not integrating it so easily, and I'm having to take a few minutes to process it. I was in the chat room, and I was talking to Gemini Moon, and I was saying, I was still like there just trying to think about some. As he was speaking to Gemini Moon, who was the caller right before you, I was I felt like almost like what he said was resonating for me personally. And then I was like taking that in, and I'm sure that happens a lot, Treb, where other people can relate to this bigger message that you're offering. But I have to,
that
like
was
I
very
said,
good. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, it was interesting to take in, was it? So you got what you needed from that, huh?
I do, and I'll probably benefit from listening to your show in the archives so that I can really take it in. I think, and you've said this in other shows of yours, Helane, that if sometimes the information is so intense that it could be hard to take it all in at once. And so I'm a little bit, it's a little more than I can take in, but I'm really excited, and I just feel very blessed, and I just want to thank Treb and thank you for having
Thank you so much. Because basically, yes, she's right. Now, Treb, I know. Now, Treb, we are starting to wind down, and we are getting ready to close. So is there a message, Treb, that you have for our listeners in general, even a closing message before we close with you and bring Rob back?
Yes, I wish to express to all who are willing to connect to this idea or who are listening at this time, humanity is a very difficult race within your own perception. Many tend to see yourselves as very difficult or odd entities, but I wish to express to you that you are a very great race of entities. You are a pure love. You are a portion of this creator that has created this universe. And within this idea, reminding yourself of this divinity from the day-to-day experience is very vital. Reminding yourself that as a divine entity, as a creator of your own existence, that loving yourself is also a very important idea. But the greatest idea that I wish to express to you is that all of you have this great creative power, this ability to manifest your own reality. And when you begin to see that you do not have this power, this is when you will experience not having this power. So expressing these ideas of your own strength and your own ability to create your reality as you choose is a very important idea to pass along to all of you. And within this idea, I will leave you all this evening in love and in light, and we will experience each other or speak to each other again very soon.
Oh, Treb, that was so nice. I wonder also, and I want to ask too, do you have any message even for me? I've been having a lot of readers. I don't usually ask this, but I would love to hear if there's anything that you would have to say to me too, just generally.
Yes.
I'm open to. Yes?
Yes. This idea that I wish to express to you is that when you are coming through difficulties in your own existence, to see them as difficulties will only manifest more difficulties within your existence, but to see them as what they truly are, as a divine way to be able to see the environment within your own self and anything that does not resonate with you, to be able to remove this, and to also see these great, exciting things as more opportunities to manifest the things that you do wish to experience. This will help you manifest all of the activities that you are within to a very great and successful way. So to release the worry of the outcome and to focus upon the excitement of the actual doing of this idea, this will be the greatest expression that I can give to you.
That's true. And Treb, this one I was able to wrap my mind around. I have had I have a lot of exciting things coming up. It's true, Treb, and I've had a lot of difficulties that I have been processing and plowing through. So that is very, very helpful and very wise words to focus on the excitement and the joy and the happiness of all I'm creating, and not worry how it's going to happen. That was that was spot on for me. So I thank you so much. Our friends in the chat room are thanking you too, Treb. Blondie and Gemini and even Savita from before were all very grateful for the experience and the opportunity to speak with you. And so thank you so much and for joining us, Treb.
It is very greatly exciting for me as well.
I loved having you on the show, and so what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to close. Do we close the show as Treb, or does Rob come back, or how does this work, Treb? I'm new to this type of thing. Do I close the show out with...
I will disconnect from myself to the host to give him back the consciousness. One moment.
Okay. We'll bring Rob back, and we'll say goodbye.
Right. How'd it go? Oh, we're already done?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're nearing our show ends. Our show usually ends. It's going to end in 10 minutes, so we were just winding down. We're going to say goodnight to our listeners. We went through all our callers, and Treb did a great job, Rob, in answering these questions. What is it like for you? Do you remember what he's saying, or are you there? Where are you when he's talking?
When I'm in my channel state, it's one of three ways. There's either me going to connect to him in an astral projected state like I did for my 2 years before, and that's what's most common. Like 7 out of 10 times I do it. I go connect to him. Maybe 2 out of those 10 times, he'll show me something, another race, another planet, an event, part of history, something he feels that I need to know. And then the very last thing that I do is sometimes I observe the sessions if there's something in it I really need to hear. But tonight I was just visiting with him while you guys were talking.
Wow. Very interesting. I mean, And the people in our chat room are sending so much love to you, Rob. You know, it's very interesting, you know, that and it's an amazing thing that you're able to do. Some of the things that Treb was saying to our listeners, it was intense. It was a lot to wrap your mind around. I remember when one person, Gemini Moon, had a reading. I practically felt like the reading was for me, even though it was like you were speaking, and I think it was really touching me, and I was trying to process it, and I was like trying to understand. And she was also, Blondie was asking some very good. Actually, everybody was asking some great questions of you. So. Oh wow!
Well, that's the best thing about Treb's work is no matter who he's doing a session with, every one of us can gain something from listening to the sessions. Even if we don't think that the personal things can help anyone else, they always help at least a couple people are going. We're all together in this thing, and we all, if one of us experiences something, we all experience it on one level or another. So it's so useful.
Oh, like I said, I'm just happy that you were able to come on the show, and I feel,
it's been a pleasure.
Rob, you really, we usually before the show, we set an intent, and we find that every single time it always works. It always works. The intent that we set usually always, it usually always happens. We usually, and again, we were hoping that we would be able to, we did everything that we said. We were able to touch our listeners. We would leave them with people, introduce people to you. So we did it all, and I feel really glad about that as well. So, you know.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here and doing that too, and I'm so glad that both of us were able to co-create an experience for everyone to be able to learn something or to grow. And thank you for that. Thank you for what you do too, because what you do is so important for everyone.
Oh, well, I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in to Embracing What's Real on In5d Radio. Next Wednesday, we have Elijah Ray and the Band of Light coming on, and that should be very fun, very interesting. After that, I'm going to be taking we have, on the 21st, we have B.B. McGill, and she is the guitar player for Beyonce, and she also created B.B.'s Kale Chips. Both Elijah and the Band of Light, Elijah Ray and B.B. McGill, live in Kauai, and I will be in Kauai to do these shows and to host them, so this is quite exciting. I am going to meet Faith Spina from Bridge to Lemuria, Nassim Harriman. I'm going to meet I'm going to be speaking to some fabulous people in Kauai. Should be awesome. So again, thank you all of our listeners for tuning in to Embracing What's Real. Till we meet again, remember, the sky is the limit, and anything and everything is possible. Lots of love till we meet again. Namaste.